We are going to discuss about Mama NGINA during her time as a detainee, a Mau Mau detainee during Mau Mau days at Kamiti prison. Mama NGINA's one and only offense was that she was married to Jomo. She was married to the most wanted person in Kenya. During her time in Kamiti, my tape has very little information, but the little information is the first time ever Kenyans are hearing. We all know that Mama NGINA went to Kamiti. We all know that her one and only offense was being Kenyatta's wife. We had some freedom fighters whose spouses were also freedom fighters. But in the case of Mama NGINA, the only offense she committed was being married to Jomo. I was told this by Bilha Nyakenywa wa Moyo. She was in Kamiti with Mama NGINA Kenyatta, and she's the one who taught me the little. Bilha Nyakenywa wa Moyo is my maternal grandmother. I have to talk a bit about her so that I can share the one or two sentences that is good for Kenyans to know. Somebody else will also come up with new information so as Mama NGINA gets her rightful position in history of Kenya. Bilha wa Moyo Nyakenywa was born at Kiangoma. Kiangoma is, you can approach Kiangoma from 3 different directions. You can approach it from Mukurweini, turn left, pass Tumutumu Girls, go that way. Or you can approach it from Giagatika. Giagatika's other name is Kiamodhanga. Then you reach at the hospital, turn right. Or you can come from the dam area, you pass the Wariruta place, and there you are. She grew up and was trained as a ECD, what we call nowadays ECD teacher at Tumutumu. At Tumutumu, she was further trained. After practicing her teaching, she went back for a nursing course when the college became now a hospital, Tumutumu Mission Hospital. She trained there as a nurse, but the nurses of those days were very senior people. A person like Davidson Kyoboine Kuguru was a nurse. So a nurse was a very learned person, but the level of which Bilha Nyakenywa wa Moyo went through was what used to be called dresser. Today, we call them as first responders, first aiders. The name dresser was if you are hurt and whatever, they would dress your wound as they take you to the hospital. Waluya, wale 70 years and above, remember, people used to be called Abateresa. It comes from dresser. My grandmother, Bilha Nyakenywa wa Moyo, was a Mau Mau informer. And so was my mother, my biological mother, her daughter, that is. And that is why my father, Bukusu, married a Kikuyu woman, because she used to spy on police and pass information to Mau Mau, my mother. We are talking about my grandmother. Now, my grandmother had inculcated in all her children to be Mau Mau spies. and she used to dress Mau people who were hurt or who were sick. So she was caught and taken to Kamiti. At Kamiti, those days and even late, prison services in Kenya just recently introduced places where someone can even take a degree from prison. But in those days, prison was only one thing. On a normal day, you wake up in the morning, take your jembe, go to the farm. A short break for lunch, then again afternoon farming till evening, for the duration of your jail term. Now there were three types of people who would not go to the shamba. Of course, there were the cooks. Two, my grandmother did not go to the shamba because she used to treat. You know, she was trained both in ECD, what we call it today ECD, and she was also a dresser, a sort of a nurse, a first aider. And Mama NGINA was a very young girl. She was lucky, if I can use that word. You know, in prison, hakuna luck. She was lucky that many of the women who were taken to prison had babies. So the prison authority arranged, because a mother cannot place the baby on the back and stay in the hot sun with the baby till evening. So as prisoners, as women prisoners who could leave Kamiti to the shambas, there was a sick bay plus nursery place where mothers would leave children there. The children would be taken care of this nursery teacher, who is Bilha Nyakenyo Wamoyo, plus Mama NGINA. So she spent a lot of time baby caring that, and she contributed a lot. A lot of people whom she cared when they were young later became very successful people, and they appreciated her participation. This is the small story about. You'll find that I've talked just very little, but you should know that as other women went to the farm, the small girl who was Mama NGINA, whose only mistake or whose only offense was getting married to the most wanted Kenyan, would spend time babysitting the whole day. And for that we hail her. Thank you.